Yo, what's going on? You know, we back in the building. Real topics, real discussions, real rap. Nothing less. Dig? If this your first time here, like, share, subscribe, comment. Follow the dialogue, comment on the dialogue. Whether you agree, disagree, you know what I mean? Just make it make sense. Let's get into it. So one of my last videos, remember I touched on how you got the average kid that come from an urban hub. And I'm talking about the inner hub. I ain't talking about, you know what I mean, you somewhat from near the county or something. No, the inner hub, right? How you most likely got one of the three when it comes to some kind of mental disorder, right? And to refresh some memories out there, the big three are anxiety, depression, and PTSD, right? And the average kid is walking around with at least one of them. And above average, I'd probably say 75 to 80%. Conservatively, I say 75 to 80%. Right? Because you're exposed to so much so young. I mean, I was kind of having this conversation last night about that. Like, there's definitely things that when you see it, you shouldn't know what it is, but you know what it is. For some reason, whatever that is. Like, I was telling somebody when I was about 6 or 7 years old, when I remember seeing a straw cut up on an angle, and I knew that was for snorting coke. How I knew that, I couldn't tell you. I never seen nobody at that point snort coke. I just put one and one together. And to me, that made perfect sense, and that's exactly what it was for. You understand? But, you know, like I said, you got these kids walking around with these demons, man. And it manifests itself in it manifests itself through the actions and activities, right? It could be acting out of school. It could be acting out of the crib. It could be doing wild stuff outside. And I ain't talking wild meaning playing ding dong ditch or catch a girl. I ain't talking nothing like that. I'm talking do some violent acts, right? When you get grown, when you're as an adult, when they want to evaluate you for PTSD, they you know, they got a little scorecard, and they determine, you know, to what degree you're involved in high risk activities, right? So as a child, it's the same concept and principle. To me, that don't change. You feel me? But a recent act in particularly caught my attention, and it's really sickening, right? So in Philadelphia, in North Philly, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago probably, this 73-year-old man who he's lived in that area forever. I forgot what his nickname is, but he's affectionately known as a nickname. Everybody know who this old head is. And you had a mob of about 7 kids, right? A portion of them, not all of them, but when they first broke the story, they made it sound like a mob of 7 kids each attacked this old man, right? So they attacked him, they beat him, they hit him with a traffic cone. He wound up dying, so they wound up killing him, right? So it was a big story. They flashed the images and the video. I still have never watched the video. I don't plan on watching that video to keep it a buck of some change. I'm not watching that video. You know what I'm saying? But they pretty much put it out there like, can anybody identify these kids? So I want to say that was like Friday or Saturday when the news channels put the images out. By Sunday night, you had parents in contact with law enforcement. By Monday, you had kids turning themselves in, right? So the first to my knowledge that turned themselves in was a 14-year-old boy and his 10, 11-year-old brother, right? The 14-year-old wound up being charged with third-degree murder. The younger brother wound up getting released. The next day on Tuesday, I think you had a couple more kids, parents contact law enforcement, saying pretty much what role their kids played in the incident. Wednesday, you had yesterday, you had 2 teenage girls turn themselves in. I don't know if they was related or not. They might have been related. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna put no false information out there that I'm not 110% because I know the story, but I kind of don't really want to get on to the bones of it because it's that disturbing for me. You know what I'm saying? But you got like a 13-year-old girl and a 10, 11-year-old girl, so a 12-year-old girl, whatever it was. The older girl wound up getting charged with third-degree murder. The younger girl wound up getting released. The image that was the image that impacted me heavy was the image of when the young girl got released. She immediately, when she was leaving the precinct, she's hugging her mother. You know what I mean? And her face is buried in her mother's chest. You understand what I'm saying? And her mother is giving her that embrace of, I'm glad you out here because it wasn't nothing I could have really done for you, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? When you're in that situation as a parent, it ain't but so much you can do for your kid. You know, your job is to protect your kid, numero uno. But in that scenario, it ain't but so much you can do for your kid. You're at the mercy of the system. And no parent wants to feel helpless, especially when it comes to their kid. The police released additional information saying that I don't know if it was the young boy and the young girl that was released, but saying the boy and the girl actually tried to intervene and stop the assault to no avail, quite naturally. Like I said, the old man wound up, you know what I mean, 73 years old. He survived a lot of things that was done against us being deemed African American, right? There's no way you're going to tell me that some teenagers that could be his probably great grandkids did this to him, right? I just can't fathom, because I don't remember no time in my life, man, being 13 years old, walking around North Philadelphia, being 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I don't care what age you want to talk about. I don't remember no age where it was cool to verbally nor physically disrespect the elder. You understand what I'm saying? Like that was an unwritten rule. What was understood ain't got to be said. You know what I mean? And when I say that we was doing, I mean, I'm not gonna go crazy, but you know, we was doing stuff that we ain't had no business doing, definitely. Now, we was engaged in activities, we was engaged in doing, you know what I mean, just the foolish part. We called ourselves being, what we say, like being devious. We went around and did a whole bunch of dumb stuff for no reason, just to get kicks and laughs, you understand, with each other. But it wasn't no elders involved in that. You know what I'm saying? We went way past that, but at the end of the day, we still did stuff on that kind of time. Like I said, however, we still ain't go but so far with it, because we already understood, like, it's certain stuff that you don't even do to elders, man. There's certain lines of respect and certain lines of disrespect that you just don't cross. You dig? So how that can, and that happens, that's a frequent occurrence. You know what I mean? A couple months ago, this guy, I think he was up like West Philly somewhere, or wherever he was at. He was walking through a back, like, little alleyway, early in the morning. Some dude robbed him and kill him, and it's like, yo, what are y'all doing, man? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we really doing, man? Like, that's crazy to me. I can't comprehend that. That don't make no sense to me. That ain't G. That ain't gangster. And you know, I'm really at a loss for words for this, because there's really nothing you can say to justify to me how you can do something like that. You understand what I'm saying? I would never be able to understand that. I'm not going to understand that. I'm never going to say, oh yeah, I can see why that happened. No, I'm not going to be able to see why that happened, ever. You know what I'm saying? That's the most vulnerable. Children, kids, like, I'm talking toddlers and all that, and elderly are the most vulnerable people of our society. You understand what I'm saying? You can't sit around me and disrespect. You can't sit around me and do nothing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I remember an incident that happened probably like 6-7 months ago, where this elder guy did say something totally out of pocket. I just looked how the guy reacted to an elder, and I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? But when I got more of the story, I understood why the guy reacted the way he reacted. But I'm still asking him in the future to have some kind of restraint, because that's an elder. And they deserve a certain leeway, right? Now, you also, as an elder, they have to give a certain kind of respect, you know what I'm saying, in return. But we got to show a certain kind of restraint. But we can't go there with no elder, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't go there with somebody that's seen things and lived experiences that we can't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like, walking around in this skin color is already ill enough. When you see somebody that did it way longer than you, by 30 and 40 years and all that, 60 years damn near in the case of these kids, it ain't nothing you can say to me, man, that get me to understand how this elder was minding his business, walking around his neighborhood like he normally do. You thought it was a good idea to beat this man like that. You understand what I'm saying? But we're going to keep this one short. I just had to spit this clip real quick. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming on the corner. I'm going to be right back. I just had to voice my frustration with this. It's a lot of this stuff going on around the country. It just ain't Philadelphia. But quite naturally, I know what I'm going to highlight first. You know what I mean? But like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know you was here. Let me know what's going on out there, man. I appreciate the time. I salute. I'll be right back.